Joining me now are musicians Paul Henry and Laura Shaffer of the duo Lolo and Pops. They've been singing their quirky mix of originals and covers in Sonoma County since 2007. Mark your calendars, folks. Lolo and Pops and the Rains are set to grace the Lost Church stage on Friday, June 28th at 8:15 p.m. Welcome, Paul and Laura.
Hi, Steve. Nice to hear you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Our pleasure.
Yeah.
Why don't we start with the origins of Lolo and Pops and give me some of your musical background?
Well, I'm a recovering singer-songwriter. We're performing because I continually fall off the wagon. I've been playing guitar and singing since I was about 10.
Have a music degree or two.
Yeah, I have a music degree and a couple of other attempts, undergraduate degree in music. And then I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston for a little while, dropped out of there, went to the New England Conservatory of Music for a while, dropped out of there, and performed in the Boston area since I was 12, playing other people's songs. And then I started writing. I have a long list of terrible songs before they got better.
I do not have the musical pedigree, but I think I've been writing songs most of my life.
All right.
My mother used to tell me I babbled in the bathtub all the time musically. When I met Paul in the late 90s, I started taking it a little more seriously because he published songs and had CDs and had a musical partner and was taking it very seriously in the folk scene. So I started paying a little more attention to my creative output that way. Just over time, we got married and had kids, and it became my creative catharsis for suddenly being a mom with two small kids doing a lot of laundry. It's a real emotional catharsis for me to compose and perform.
Nice. I was going to ask you, what's it like being married to a spouse that's also your songwriting partner?
For me, it's great because he musically fills in all the gaps. I have a lyric, and he makes an interesting song out of it. He helps me tremendously.
Yeah, but she has the lyric and the melody, and melody quite often implies the harmony. So it's relatively easy to write an arrangement after Laura's done with the lyric and a melody. It comes out pretty well. She's written some really interesting stuff too. Makes me jealous because I've had all this training, like I'm really sincere beyond belief, but she just puts this stuff out that's marvelous.
He's got great craft, and Paul writes sweet songs. He can make you cry. He can make you laugh. If he gets angry and political, watch out.
Uh-oh. Okay.
You can be powerful in a song and say things and get away with stuff that you wouldn't really say other ways.
We'll get more into your songwriting process a little bit later in the interview. But first, I want to play some of the music you sent over. It's original music that we're going to share with our listeners now. And the first song is called The Allest Hymn. What's the backstory on this song?
Philosophy. I was raised with very little religion. Thank you, parents. And I also got exposed to almost every religion possible. I was, growing up in the 60s, and I got to visit many churches, friends, and explored various religious backgrounds on my own in college. So it just became this thing where I was looking for spiritual guidance, and I said, I found it in Allism, which is the basis of the song.
We're taking converts and accepting applications.
Okay, sign me up, will you?
She converted me because we were widely divergent religiously because she believed in everything and I believed in nothing. But she's convinced me.
Okay, I'm convinced too. Let's listen to The Allest Hymn by Lolo and Pops here on Cows FM.
Same old, same old. I believe it all, it's the same old thing. I believe it all, it's the same old, same old. I believe it all, and that's why I sing. Joseph Campbell, he knew the story. C.J. Young, he knew it too. Buddha, Jesus, John Lennon, and every Aborigine, and me and you. I say, I believe it all, it's the same old, same old. I believe it all, it's the same old thing. I believe it all, it's the same old, same old. I believe it all, and that's why psychology, biology, or nuclear physics, ecology, neurology, to get specific. I follow the Tao, I feel the Chi, 'cause all of it is pieces of the puzzle to me. That's why I believe it all. It's the same old, same old. I believe it all. It's the same old thing. I believe it all. It's the same old, same old. I believe it all, and that's why I sing. When I wonder why I look up in the sky, who's that guy I'm hearing true? Everywhere you go, people tell the story. Same old, how do you do? That's why I believe it all. It's the same old, same old. I believe it all. It's the same old thing. I believe it all. It's the same old, same old. I believe it all, and that's why I sing. Gandhi, Rumi, each had a version of some about love and not coercion. Swami Yogananda wrote it down in his book. It's everywhere, and all you have to do is look. That's why I believe it all. It's the same old, same old. I believe it all. It's the same old thing. I believe it all. It's the same old, same old. I believe it all, and that's why I sing. Just believe it all. It's the same old, same old. Just believe it all. It's the same old song. Just believe it all. It's the same old, same old. Believe it all, and maybe we can just get along.
Joining me now are musicians Paul Henry and Laura Shaffer here on Backstage Sonoma. And let's get into another piece of your music here. We have another song to play. This has got an interesting title, Person A and Person B. What can you tell us about this one?
Oh, that's one of mine. I call it a generic love song because it's not specific to any kind of person. The idea being that love is such a gift, and if you can get it, why fuss about particulars? If two people can meet and fall in love, isn't that enough?
Sure.
That's what the song's about, pretty much. It's that sense of who do we have to be to love someone else? What a wonderful thing to have. If people can do that and be successful at it, that's just great. More power to them.
Do you have anything to add, Laura?
Oh, I just love Paul's songs, and that one is so sweet. And it's also our love story in a way, how we met. And it's cool. We get to sing our love story.
Well, here's the love story of Lolo and Pops called Person A and Person B right here on Backstage Sonoma.
Person A met Person B at a party of mutual friends. They talked, they laughed so easily that neither one wanted the evening to end. Now don't you wish that you had met that way? Said Person B to Person A, let's us share a bath and a bed. The crossword puzzles, Saturdays, a kitchen, a closet, and the books we have read. Reminiscing when we're old and gray.
sexes. It's a world of XXs. It's a world of XYs. It's a world of surprise. And who's going to say you can't love who you may? That's just injustice in disguise, said person A to person B. Oh, my heart has been waiting for this. And there and then they both agreed, and they sealed the whole deal with a lingering kiss. So here's to the sexes. It's a world of XXs. It's a world of XYs. It's a world of surprise. And who's going to say you can't love who you may? That's just injustice in disguise, said person A to person B. Oh, my heart has been waiting for this. And there and then they both agreed, and they sealed the whole deal with a lingering kiss. And that is really all there is to say of person B and person A.
You're listening to Cows FM, and I'm speaking with musicians Paul Henry and Laura Shaffer. And let's talk about your songwriting process.
Well, when I have something to say or something strikes me, I often will, I work in rhyme and pattern. That's kind of my brain. I will often channel an incident that happens in my life into a song to deal with it. But then other times things like, oh, I have a song about chickens because we kept chickens for a year during the pandemic, and going out there every day and feeding them and taking care of them. You just start wondering, what the heck are they thinking about? Pretty soon it becomes a song, you just get rhythm. And I call a lot of our songs domestic amusement because, how do you get through the day? I need a song. I can only listen to the Beatles or whatever's popular for so long. And before I want to hear my own voice.
And I love that song because I get to play the chicken.
So there's sound effects in that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I speak chicken and she translates.
I used to have a bunch of chickens too, so I could have used you years ago. So
Never too late.
And Paul's songs, where do you get your songs?
God, my writing's fallen off a little bit. But for me, usually there's a line or a phrase or something will come to me and the song proceeds from there. Most of the time, words come first and I'll work a lyric. Last song I wrote, I don't even know if we're going to be playing that on Friday. I think I went through 11 revisions before I settled on the lyric I like. And then the music comes in, and that always surprises me. That one ended up being a cappella, which I never write, but it just came out that way.
tell me about your recordings that are available to the public.
Oh, the short conversation.
Yeah.
Or Pascal, we have one CD called Bound for Dreamland, which was it's a set of based on melodies from the tradition of Sacred Harp, which is a Southern shape note singing tradition.
We're kind of slow in releasing. That was, we wrote when we had babies, or I wrote the lyrics.
This was Laura's
And it
inspiration.
took us about 20 years to get the CD out. Now CDs are passe. We're working on our albums of what we call Let's Go Kill an Hour, where we come into the studio. And now that we're a little freer, he's retired, and and our kids are grown up, we have more time to play. And so we are working on recording our stuff and what to do with it in this modern world. Do we go on YouTube? Do we go on TikTok? The old-fashioned distribution of CDs at concerts has sort of disappeared.
Yeah, right.
So as you become...
You didn't mention the fact that we're lazy.
Oh,
We still have that.
So,
well, actually, no, we're not lazy. We just get busy.
Yeah.
It's a modern world. We volunteer in the community a fair amount.
Right.
And it takes your time. And Paul plays in a couple other bands, and that takes your time. So we're working on recording and actually having a gig is always a great incentive to
Rehearse.
get stuff going, and then saying, yeah, we should get our stuff out there. And it's always, which media platform shall we join the bazillions?
But we have a granddaughter we try to visit regularly. Oh, she's the one who gave us our name.
That's
how we became Lolo and Pops. That was entirely her.
our grandparent monikers.
Yes.
And then we thought that Lolo and Paul's just a little boring as a musician duo. So
Yeah.
Lolo and Pop sounds kind of more fun.
Yeah, that works.
Makes us smile.
Yeah. Well, let's discuss your upcoming show at the Lost Church with the Rains. Tell me about the Rains and what the audience can look forward to.
Oh, the Rains. I love the Rains. I occasionally play bass with them, but that's not why I love them. Marty and Carol Raynon, they've been playing around here ever since we moved up here, just 20 years ago or so now. And they were based in Nashville for a couple of decades prior to coming out here. They have some traction as songwriters. They just can't write bad songs. They're sort of country inflected,
Like American
Yeah.
songwriters.
really well-crafted lyrics, good musicians, wonderful voices. You know,
Another husband and wife team
Yeah.
Oh,
that
right.
works it. And yeah, they
it seems so easy. I feel like we work and work and work, but they just, yeah, I love their stuff and I love playing with them. They have a couple of CDs. One is called Shadows on the Tracks. That's their latest. And the one before that is called Stubborn Dreams. They're songs of love and life's experience,
Mhm.
and some are funny. And there's one in particular, I think Marty wrote, that I really wish I'd written. It's about the experience of playing in a club when the cappuccino machine goes off, which a lot of musicians have experienced. You're trying to put something serious out there, and in the background, yeah. It's great. Yeah. And it's so true and so well done.
How frustrating.
I really hope they do that. I should ask if they'll do that.
we do like comedy a lot in music. And so songwriting where you get a laugh. I mean, the world gets so serious, and sometimes songs can be so serious, or the angst of the world. So comedy is a great relief.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with. So at the show, will you guys be doing separate sets or just a combination of everyone on stage? Or
The Rains are going to do
Yeah.
a set, and then we'll do a set.
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't worked it together with them to flow in and out, and I think that
No, they're doing an opening set and we're doing a second set.
Got it. Should be fun. Where's the best place I can send our listeners to find your music?
Good question. Well,
loanpops.com,
yeah,
lolopops.us.
loloandpops.us has a few samples. That's probably what we have out there at the
Mhm.
moment. At some point, we will record that album.
And Bound for Dreamland hasn't gone out into the internet yet. I think
No.
we're needing to get copyright.
I have a YouTube channel for all the songs I've written,
Oh.
many of which we don't sing as Lolo and Pops.
But he's
Um,
written some great stuff. What's your
Some
YouTube
of them
channel?
are- If you use the YouTube label, you look for @SoundMile. That's @ SoundMile, SOUNDMILE. Or you can look for Paul Henry S. There are several Paul Henrys out there. I think there's a drummer in Maine. I think there's a poet in
I was gonna say,
Britain.
we don't care about
Yeah.
them.
Don't get lost.
But if you look for Paul Henry S, you should stumble on my channel, that or the label.
Okay.
There's some pretty awesome music lyric videos with little cool animations.
Well, they're actually all really simple. It's just white text on a black background. Again, I told you we're lazy, and it's just a very straightforward lyric video.
But he's written many good songs, and
But they're out there, and any song that's in a lyric video is available on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
oh,
So-
that's true. You got spot. You got. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
He's been working
Usual.
it as a semi-pro for years, and
Yeah, we just
Lolo
haven't
and
gotten
Pops
around
is
to.
kind of
We haven't really gotten around to getting Lolo and Pops out there.
this, and it is good to have these experiences because it helps us go. Yeah, we do enjoy this.
Well, let me remind our listeners the not so lazy Lolo and Pops and professional duo, along with the Rains, will perform at the Lost Church in Santa Rosa on Friday, June 28th at 8:15 p.m. Tickets and more can be found at thelostchurch.org. Thanks for your time today, the both of you, and have a great show.
Well, thank you. Thanks
Great
a lot,
to be
Stephen.
here, Steve.
Would you like to be a guest on Backstage Sonoma? Drop the host an email at backstagesonoma@gmail.com.
Now we're ready to get back to what we know, and that's cows.